Hi, I'm Dr. Rasya Dikshit from Dr. Dikshit Dermatology, Bangalore. Sometimes people suddenly develop a sun sensitivity. This might be because they have started newly any antibiotic or painkiller which could make their skin a little bit more sensitive to the sun. We call this phototoxic reactions or photoallergic reactions. So in this case, if you suspect that you've started taking an antibiotic and you have suddenly become sensitive to the sun, you need to go back to your doctor and ask them to change the medicine. The other thing which also happens is, especially we notice that people use particular cosmetics and these might have perfumes in them and they might be sensitizing your skin to the sun.
Dr. Clifford Bassett is medical director at Allergy and Asthma Care of New York and joins us at the table. Hello. Welcome back.
Good morning, everyone.
So we already hear that you got to use the sunscreen. It's unusual to hear that you're allergic to it, right?
Well, many patients come into my allergy practice and they have rashes after using products, sunscreens, or out in the sun. Again, ultraviolet light, much more powerful in the summertime. We have to watch out. We want to love our skin and do protective tips this summer to keep us safe. But the bottom line is, if you have a rash after using sunscreen or using a product in the sun, see a dermatologist or an allergist for patch testing. We could pinpoint very quickly what the problem is, whether it's the sunscreen agent, preservative, or fragrance, which is present in a lot of products, and we do a skin workaround. Find products that are safe for you that will still protect you this summer.
Doctor, you've touched on sunscreen and its effect on hormones. Can you go into that a little bit more and the relationship with how sunscreens actually alter or affect our hormones?
Right. When we absorb them, they act as an estrogen or they act as an anti-testosterone. So our normal hormone balance is being very disrupted, and that's why the fetal development is so impacted, because it's very critical to have a normal balance. Very critical for male fetus to be bathed in testosterone while it's developing. And if it's not, then there's a great disruption. And in the animals, they're finding out that the ability to have normal male sexual behavior as an adult is negated, because the brain has to do what's called sexually dimorphic differentiation in order to go into the testosterone dominant part of the brain and then depress the estrogen influence on the brain. So without that, with them being bathed in estrogen while they're developing, they are virtually incapable of having normal adult sexual behavior.
You know, I think a lot of people think of sunscreen as sitting on top of your skin and being a barrier, but your skin is really a mechanism to transport things in and out of your body, isn't it?
Very absorbable, and it's the largest organ in your body. So you're putting all this on the largest organ. The sunscreen is detected in the blood in 5 minutes, and within hours it's detected in the liver, kidneys, spleen, testicles, and the brain. So we absorb it, and it's going into all our organs.
Something that people need to be aware of, not only with sunscreen, but lotions,
Absolutely.
makeup. There's a lot of things that maybe people need to relook at how they use and what they use.
We need to read the label of everything, virtually everything. They are putting these sunscreens in everything. It is just staggering. They put them in shampoos, the body lotions, all the makeup. I had even been using a very natural makeup line for years and was just horrified when I realized they were using titanium dioxide in their foundation. And the thing about the titanium dioxide is, yes, it screens out the UVB, but it only screens out a portion of the UVA. It doesn't screen out the whole UVA. And then also, when the sun hits it, it's actually deactivated. It photodegrades, they call it. So it's no longer of any value. So, and they're putting it in lipsticks and in our makeup, and it's actually not creating the protection it's been said it would, and it's very toxic because we're absorbing it. In my book, I have photo micrographs of the particles actually being inside the cell nucleus and actually causing the skin cell death. When you put it on the skin, it actually causes the human epidermal cells to die. And there's a whole schematic in the book about the path to the death. So, and it's truly amazing. They're even putting it in foods. So you've got to read the labels of the foods because they put it in there to protect the color.
Really?
So, and even pudding from health food stores. If you don't read the label, you're going to be ingesting titanium dioxide.
Bigger lips, longer lashes, smoother skin. We see the ads everywhere. But do you really know what's in your makeup bag?
Today, the American consumer, frankly, buys beauty products because they make them beautiful.
Nancy Harvey Stewarts is the former chairwoman of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and an international safety expert. She's speaking out about the dangers hidden in makeup.
Lead is an issue that consumers are very concerned about.
The FDA recently did a study uncovering trace amounts of lead in 400 lipsticks. The highest levels were found in the CoverGirl, L'Oreal, Maybelline, and Revlon brands.
I would not want to be buying a lipstick that was at the top of that list.
Lead exposure has been linked to memory loss, mood disorders, and miscarriage in adults. While the FDA says the small amounts of lead are not a safety concern, Stewarts disagrees.
A trace amount of lead is too much.
Another concern? Poisoned lotions. The FDA has identified 35 imported skin lightening creams and soaps tainted with mercury. Your best line of defense? Read the labels and...
If a cosmetic is not labeled and there are no ingredients listed, don't buy it.
And don't be afraid to speak out.
I'm hoping that the cosmetic companies are going to wake up to the call from consumers that we really want to have no lead in our lipstick.
I'm Vanessa Welch reporting.
Something stinks when it comes to certain fragrances. Researchers claim some top-selling perfumes and body sprays contain hidden, possibly hazardous chemicals.
But as Dr. Kim Mulvihill tells us, the claims do not sit pretty with the fragrance industry.
With a spritz or a dab, the fragrance industry is big business, pulling in billions of dollars in sales.
Coco Chanel.
Jo Malone French Lime Blossoms.
Chanel #5 for every day, and anything French for night.
But now a new report says the biz really stinks.
We tested 17 top-selling perfumes, celebrity fragrances, teen body sprays, and found that all of the products had many secret chemicals that weren't listed on labels and many chemicals of concern.
Among the products tested, Glow by J.Lo, Britney Spears' Curious, and Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio. Stacey Malkin is co-founder of the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics. Her group commissioned the report.
The products contain an average of 10 allergens each that can trigger headaches, skin rashes, asthma attacks, and we also found many of the products contained hormone-disrupting chemicals linked to long-term health effects, like increased risk of cancer or infertility.
The report says not only are the ingredients kept secret from consumers, but most have never been assessed for safety. Dr. Kim Mulvihill, KSL 5 News.
Some people are sensitive to certain chemicals, even when others are wearing them. The FDA does not require fragrance manufacturers to disclose the ingredients of synthetic fragrances because these formulas are considered trade secrets. Today, only 9 ingredients are prohibited by the FDA for use in cosmetics.
We, in our ongoing investigations of chemicals in consumer products, were shocked, as probably most people will be when they find out, that chemicals in cosmetics are not regulated. There's no authority for the EPA or the FDA to regulate the chemicals in cosmetics. The chemicals that go in cosmetics are, for the most part, not tested before they're allowed in the cosmetics. And it's even very difficult to get an accurate listing of the chemicals that are in cosmetics because they hide under things like color and fragrance and that sort of thing. A few years ago, we started obtaining from whatever sources we could lists of as many ingredients in cosmetics and personal care products as we could. And then we matched that against, I think we're up to something like 36 different databases of harmful chemicals from around the world. The US, the EU, the UN, the World Health Organization. And by matching up the ingredients that we knew were in these personal care products, just the ones we knew, not the ones that weren't disclosed, mind you, but just the ones we knew, with the databases of harmful chemicals, we were able to come up with a ranking system that says, okay, your skin cream has this many chemicals of concern in it. And the two areas of concern were either known health effects, carcinogen, neurological damage, whatever, or simply this chemical has never been tested. We don't know what the effect of this chemical is. Skin care, hair care, eye care, nail care, baby care, oil care, and fragrance. The resulting database, Skin Deep, we've got the ability where you can go online and search from 25,000 different products to find out exactly what is in them and exactly what we know about the health effects on them. Some of the biggest concerns are mercury, which we know at very low levels can damage brain function, lead, where there's no known safe level exposure, fragrance-free products, nanoparticles, phthalates, plasticizer chemicals. What we're obviously trying to campaign for is that these chemicals should be regulated the same way that pesticides are regulated or that chemicals in other types of consumer products are regulated. We hope that not just that they will be regulated, but that cosmetic manufacturers will be motivated to get this stuff out of their products. One of the biggest drivers of environmental progress in this country has been disclosure. The sense that if you tell the company you've got to disclose to people what you're putting in your product, people are smart enough to avoid the product if they don't want it. And particularly when you're talking about cosmetics and personal care products that you put on your skin, that you put on your head, that you put in your mouth. We found that the average woman uses something like 12 personal care products a day. The average man, half that. And so each person in this sort of cosmetics and beauty obsessed society is loading literally dozens of either known harmful chemicals or untested chemicals onto our bodies every day. The consumers should not be responsible for protecting themselves. That should be something that government is doing by ensuring that chemicals are safe before they're allowed on the market and ensuring that claims that are made about products are accurate.